turgid.
Sure.
All right, fantastic. Let's begin our session one of Descent into Midnight with a brief.
Wait. How many people retweeted? I need to know how many people actually saw
There's no telling. I did not check how many interactions it had, so just
like 5.
say what you're gonna say.
Oh no.
Are you clean?
Yes, I am actually. My dick is no longer dripping puss. So.
Update achieved. All right, let's begin with character introductions. My name is Arthur. I'm going to be the guide. Somebody else go.
I'll go. Hi, I'm Sebastian. Like I said, my dick is no longer dripping puss, and I'm playing Ermax, a swarm of scrimp, or shrimp, as normal people say it.
Scrimps.
And remind us of your pronouns again, and tell us what you look like.
Oh yes. Well, swarm scrimps go by we, they, them. And my abilities are we have heightened senses and enhanced defenses, and yeah. And we're a sentient swarm of scrimp. We're not supposed to be sentient, so that's kind of a mystery. So.
And what's your look, gifts, attitude, and homeland?
My look is horrifying and hydrodynamic. My gifts are wrong documents.
My looks are wrong.
Wrong. Wait, gifts. Do you mean psionics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Psionics are enhanced defenses and heightened senses. My attitude is defensive, and my homeland comes from a thermal vent.
Fantastic. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
I'll go. Please don't say my real name. Just call me Frisk.
Okay.
I'm playing Algae. I'm a sentient algae. It stands for Al Glockophyte Duplex. My look is gelatinous and genial. I have gifts of sonic amplification and memory projection. My attitude is commanding, and I come from a reef colony. I am playing an orator.
You're gregarious. You know what? Never mind.
Yep, it's not in there.
If you're gonna do the voice or not, we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the voice.
All right. Rambo?
Okay, so I am Rambo. I am playing the Rough Tuggians champion elected to the Guardians from my race. My name is Urlutte the Bwahh. Oh shit, I don't have the button ready. Anyways.
I'll repaste the button for you.
Okay, thank you. I am the traveler, where many lives thrive within and around the cityscape. You have spent years, perhaps even centuries, studying the world outside. And I have collected a lifetime of knowledge and experience and seen the best and the worst the world has to offer. My peoples have a smooth and sage-like exterior. The psionic powers that I have been working with is matter manipulation and perfect recall. And of course, this helps with my people's ability to deal with the, we'll say, fertilizer matter that the manta ray gives off, and my peoples have learned how to harvest and reuse for the purpose of the city, doing all of its things that it needs to do. I don't want to fucking say it's like adamantium, or not adamantium, whatever that shit is, Black Panther. That thing in the Black Panther movie.
Vibranium?
Oh, that shit.
Yeah, that is. Well, I think that is that too, because that's whatever. Anyways, it has many purposes and energizes and uses and whatnots and souzes and blah blah blah. Anyways, with a curious attitude, I am from the Brackish Bayou, where in my hometown my peoples go by the pronouns of schmooze and schmeeze. I'm just gonna let that one sink in for a second.
Yeah, the schmooze and the schmeeze.
Okay.
I forgot our pronouns.
Schmooze.
We're a they, them, referring to multiple.
All right. And Devin, who did you pick?
I'm playing Aboshan, the Redeemer. He's angry, I guess, and excels at conflict. And he has a boozeberry addiction. Booze problem.
Love it.
Are you a which kind of creature are you?
Oh, I'm a cephalid, like a vaguely anthropomorphic octopus.
Okay. And which gift do you have?
I don't know what that means.
So on the redeemed, there are either psionics or gifts. If you're looking at the PDF, then it'll be gifts, and you choose 2 of them underneath, like, the character portrait.
Malleable body and perfect camouflage.
Perfect body, malleable camouflage.
All right.
Oh,
Let's put it on the right.
Somebody's pressing the button, but that's good. All right. All right. Let's begin with a little bit of awesome fun times. We're gonna begin in your sanctuary, guys. So I want you to close your eyes, and let's just go to this magical, mystical place together. This is a place where are all of your eyes closed?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. This is where you guys go to meet together and to de-stress from whatever your duties as a guardian have you doing. And let's just tell everybody what your feature that you identify with in this sanctuary is. So let's start with Rambo. Urlutte the Bwahh, what is in the sanctuary that kind of you focus on to bring you back to center yourself?
I guess protecting the good name of the Guardians, and me especially. But just the role that the Guardians play in the city means so much to me, having been chosen as the champion of my peoples.
Sure.
So I must both.
Is this
How cool would it be?
like a statue that you polish, or what physical manifestation does this take?
How about I run our PR from our video lab computer systems?
Okay, fair enough. So you have some monitors and some broadcasting and recording equipment in your sanctuary.
Yeah, I can dig that.
All right. Ermax?
Ermax feels alone, but not necessarily in a bad way. Since it's a new thing, it's trying to find its place. So for now, it's trying to build a nest of some sorts in the sediments of the sanctuary.
Awesome.
Probably somewhat close to the podcast equipment.
Okay. And let's go to LG.
So, was this the thing that we added to, or is it just why do we feel safe in the comp?
So, we're all living in Mantahattan, but within Mantahattan, you guys, as appointed guardians, have a clubhouse, a sanctuary, where you go to recharge. So what feature of this, sanctuary, do you identify with?
Oh, I love being able to look out onto the streets and see all the people that I can, I'm sure at some point, talk at.
Okay.
Not two.
Oh, it's not a discussion when I talk.
And Devin, what was your character's name again? Sorry.
Abishan.
Abishan. Abishan. What physical manifestation of things brings you peace here in the sanctuary? What's your like totem?
My gooseberry stash.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay. Is it? Do you have them in bottles, or what do they look like?
Like a barrel, stowed away in my little hidey hole.
Okay.
Squeeze into because I'm a fucking octopus.
Got it. All right. So we have our podcast equipment, our beginnings of a nest, and our whatever our viewport, where outside we can see a little tiny other sea peoples swimming around, and then we have a barrel of booze berries tucked into a dark corner. All right. So you've freshly emerged from your sanctuary, following the summons of who? Ermax, who is summoning you guys?
Of whom?
Let's see. I believe we are being summoned by
Who?
one of the tube worms.
Okay.
One of the tube worms.
All right, fantastic. Splitface the tube worm wants to meet with you guys about something pretty urgent.
Split face. I've been told it's a rather common name.
Yeah, it's like a surname, as far as those things go, or maybe it's a cluster of tube worms that all refer to themselves as Splitface.
The Split Face Club.
But Abishan, how do you feel about the tube worms?
They're okay. They're pretty chill. You know.
Okay. All right. So you guys wanna go and help out this tube worm, meet with Splitface.
We would like that, yeah.
All right. So you swim through Mantahattan, giving winks, nods, and floating through the various, I don't know, streams that conduct the current of people and beings that live on the back of this manta, as it kind of like skims the bottom of the ocean, of the seas, and you end up in this little kind of like silty grotto, and you can see the red-lipped little tube worms like squirting out. They're just like milking the air for their nutrients. And there's good old Splitface. He
Gross.
Splitface is kind of gesticulating wildly. What do you do, LG?
I'm gonna comment how all these tube worms look the same.
Wow.
Gesticulating wow. Is he just like kind of flopping?
Yeah, he's flopping, like trying to get your party's attention.
Look over there. I believe there is a tube worm commanding our attention. Wait, didn't we have like a really derisive name for tube worm? Like shit eaters or something?
Skins.
Skins.
The skins.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
like- Is that just their word, or do we get to use it too?
You guys tell me.
We all call them the skins. They know they're the skins.
Yeah.
They were likened unto like homeless people, but they absolutely belong everywhere that they are because they eat up all the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at that fine skinned gentleman over there. I believe his name is Splitface. Now, I do believe he is requesting our help or our assistance.
We experienced them, yes. we should investigate.
All right. So split face is filled with joy. Kind of like, toggles their flaps at you. Just toggling like mad. You can kind of like feel the sea air. The sea kind of like vibrate against you with the rapidity of their lip flaps. And it's communicated to you psionically because two worms can't talk. That the feeling from split face is that there's something approaching, which is rare in occurrence, and it's a producer of much skin food, and he's very eager for the arrival of this thing.
Oh no!
Very, very excited for all the new flavors of skin food, all the different kinds of skin that he's gonna be able to feed on. Just so excited. What is this thing called? Urlutte the Bwahh. What is this thing called? Just give me one word if you can.
I know. I was thinking, do I go crazy or do I go dark?
Yes.
Yes to both. The Abysmal.
Okay. The abysmal carnival approaches.
Oh no! This got ICP real fast.
I do believe these skins are what's known as juggalo.
That's why they're so excited. There's all this bingo.
All right, yeah. There's a fresh sizzle in the air as some strawberry red boozeberries are opened, and kind of like split faces is would be whooping if they could, and everybody is excited for the abysmal carnival. The approach is nigh. What do you want to do with this information, Abishan?
Get excited. There's gooseberries all.
Well timed.
That was
Yeah,
unexpected.
so Split Face will share the boozeberries with you. They're very generous, the skins. Ermax, you kind of see Abishan partaking of this boozeberriesness. How does that make you feel?
We realize that it affects individual sentience differently, and we feel that it impedes their survival abilities too much. We do not understand.
Okay. All right. You don't understand. So this is an opportunity for you guys to consult your basic move sheet, right?
Fucking found that.
So there's like 3 things or so that are like mildly applicable in this situation, depending on what you want to do. But the way that Descent into Midnight is suggested to be played is that instead of saying like I'm going to use scan the environment, right? Instead of saying like I'm going to do this thing, you describe what your character is doing in order to do that thing. So if for instance, algae, if you were to like scan the environment, you might say like, I'm going to send out bits of algae, or like we're going to spread out over the city, to like soak up information or whatever, like that sort of description is how you execute those moves. So does anybody have anything they want to do in regards to maybe researching the Abyssal Carnival, hanging out with the skins, or just getting wasted on boozeberries, or any other agenda you might want to pursue.
I mean, do we all suddenly know this information that they just got?
Yeah. It was communicated psionically to all of you.
So do we all have like a background, like guardians can talk to each other psionically kind of thing?
I mean, that's how you communicate.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have like proper mouths.
Yeah.
I had a beak.
I'm a beetle. I don't even know what kind of mouth they have.
Yeah, and it's all psionics. If you don't have a mouth and can't figure it out, psionics is the answer.
Is there like a I'm just curious. So is there like a distance limitation to it?
Yeah. There's probably less effective the further away somebody's brain is.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm actually kind of curious to know why they wanted to have those guys come down and talk to him. Why did Splitface even want to say that in the first place?
Okay. How are you wanting to answer this question? It sounds like a reach out. Like if we're looking at the moves like just meta, it sounds like you're using reach out, but how do you do that?
Is there anyone that kind of I mean, this is of course the world that we build, but is there any kind of like being or entity or operation or something that like watches over the skins, or maybe there's
like a skin tender,
or even just like what would be the equivalent of like our universities researching a thing? I mean, what's the foremost authority on the skins?
Sure. There's a formal authority on the skins. What kind of creature is it, Abishon? I have the name, but what kind of creature is it?
Algae something? Something? Wait, did you hear me?
Yes, algae something.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more of like a slimy algae, whereas I imagine maybe algae is more like fine and spirally, maybe. I don't know. Algae will have to tell us that. But yeah, there's like a golden slimy algae that hovers around where the skins like congregate or where they cluster during feeding time. And this one's name is Gold Crummer, so you could communicate the Gold Crummer. Now, if you want to give me that roll, it would be.
What would I be rolling?
So it sounds like you wanted to like ask somebody, for information, right? So that sounds like reach out. So roll and then add hope.
Ooh. I was just about to say, I think that one of my thingamajigs. So we have moves and we have team moves.
Mm-hmm.
What's you can only do team moves when you have oh yeah, it says it right there for mine, but it's only when I have another being with me during my travels. Does that mean like one of my other guardian friends or something?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Whether through education, training, or social graces, you know how to find most elusive creatures. When you seek information about a plant, animal, or inhabitant, roll plus drive. On a 10 plus, choose 3. On a 7 through 9, I have a couple of options. Oh god, but there's another one. Oh no. Why did I didn't even think about my role as traveler and what my gifts were, and now I'm here looking at this, and almost all of the ones that I picked have exactly to do with searching information about a creature or object, encountering a new natural, psychic, or cultural phenomenon or tradition, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. So it still looks like you're using been there, done that. So just roll plus hope.
Okay.
And so you see your stats. You should have like hope plus 1. So roll the 2d6. And I've added the make a move macro. If you guys can see it, I don't know if you've enabled the things.
Yes, I have.
Okay. You might need to enable the macro bar or whatever.
So just +1. I feel so small with my modifications. I did a thing.
All right, you got a 10, and according to that move, you gain +1 forward on a 10 or higher. So +1 forward is you get a +1 to your next roll. So like write that down in your copybook or whatever. But you've succeeded. A roll of 7 or higher in this game is a success. 6 or below is a complication.
Woo!
All right. Yeah, you're able to recall, based on a brief conversation with Gold Crummer, that the Abysmal Carnival reminds you of this other tribe of like rough Tuggians, right? Because I kind of see them as like maybe there's many rough Tuggians under the sea, and this tribe has attached itself to Mantahattan, but there are other tribes who attach themselves to maybe other creatures, this reminds you of maybe they've rebranded themselves, but like a traveling sort of crew, and they move from place to place. Not so much spreading joy, but spreading something that's like in the back of your mind is kind of tickly. You can't quite remember what it is they spread, but they're under, not like a gray kind of scale. They're not black, they're not white, they're gray. They're right in the middle, and they're spreading something.
Death.
All right. Yeah, if that's how you feel about it, certainly. So I'm gonna say that because of this knowledge that you've learned, you know for certain that they're spreading death, this abysmal carnival, that you are now in despair. This information has like thoroughly disheartened you. You're like, oh no, you fucking split worm pieces of shit. The abysmal carnival. This is terrible goddamn news. So you have a -2 on rolls going forward, but with your +1, you're still only at just like a net -1, because you are in despair.
So that just means for my next roll, that's how it affects it?
Yeah, until somebody does something to cheer you up, you're at a -2 going forward. And for your immediate next roll, you'd just be at a -1.
Oh, but it stays -2 after that?
Yeah, unless somebody cheers you up.
Oh.
So what do you look like? What's your reaction to like either this memory that you recall or this news that you learned from Gold Crummer?
I mean, I'm distressed, but not out of my wits distressed. Like, I need to like spread the word and find out if anybody knows anything about this and what can be done, if there's something that can be done. Because it sounds like this thing's just going to come to our town, smack it upside its head, and a lot of people are going to be left dead.
All right. What's your body language?
I don't seem very. I'm moving somewhat quickly and erratically. I'm not exactly smooth and graceful with my movements. I'm like a little bit more clumsy, like I am preoccupied mentally while I'm moving about trying to talk to people.
Okay. All right. So the rest of your fellows can see that there's something definitely different about you after whatever you were doing. Ermax, what do you want to do?
Ermax says, does anyone know what's wrong with Shmi? Or is it smooth? I'm confused on pronoun usage.
Shem.
It's just
Shem.
Shmees and
Yes.
schmoes.
I mean, I guess in the plural they'd have to be known as Shmei and Shmem.
Do you want to type those out?
Yes.
Shmei are acting strange. Do any of Shmoo know what's going on with Bwahh?
Bwahh.
So you're talking to your fellow guardians there?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Which who? Just address them directly.
Algae. Algae seems most
Like a nice guy.
sociable. But he talks the most.
We have, a little bit of experience with this type of thing. Let me talk to Shmem and see what we can do. I'm gonna go over and be like, so we can't help but notice a little bit of a change in Shmoa attitude. Wait, your isn't a pronoun, is it?
Whatever.
We can't help but notice a little bit of change in your attitude now. We believe that we see a little bit of despair in your body language. And we have a little bit of experience with despair. Now, as a collective hive mind, we do know that things can go rough, and we are aware of perhaps, one of the first shunts causing wreckage and destruction. But we do not let it bother us. And I would like to share this knowledge unto you. And I'm going to do memory projection and show how we have overcome these moral failings.
All right.
Specifically, I'm going to try to use the team move. I get by your reputation and actions. Lead people, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you share the insecurity underneath with the.
And what is? Let's see. What's that effect there?
I get to mark harmony. They clear a condition.
Okay, fantastic. Yes. So what's your flashback, or what are like the images?
I'm going to show them a time from before, like, I was this particular consciousness, back when a great moral failing fell upon what was the new Mantahattan, and the Manta itself was being threatened by some sort of predator, or maybe school of predator, and how we whipped the community into shape by never losing our confidence.
Fantastic. All right. Urlutte. I mean, Ermax. Urlutte the Bwahh. Urlutte the Bwahh. You know, these images, they flash through your little beetle brain. You know, some of them resonate, you know, more than others. You especially like pick up on like the sense of everybody at the time of this great predator. But what was the predator that they overcame?
Like, the city overcame the predator?
Yes.
I mean, I would like to say that it must have been an earlier version of the Abysmal Carnival.
And what did it look like?
His predecessor, as if, you know, one crazy cult sensation can sometimes born another. Sometimes one serial killer can lead to copycats. This is like the next coming of what was the true Abysmal Carnival, known in like, just, I guess I don't want to say children's stories, but we'll just say of horror stories of what's the word? Why can't I think of it? Urban legend that has been living around the city for just centuries and generations, as far as we know it. And we haven't seen it. Our parents didn't live through it. Maybe even our grandparents, the grandparents didn't live through it. But somewhere down the line, almost all the species that have been here for long and long have heard some story of the Abysmal Carnival. But this time, maybe we just happen to know that it might not necessarily be ran by whatever wicked minds of old. It might be some new incarnation of it. But it is what definitely seems like someone trying to make it seem like there's an Abysmal Carnival coming through.
Okay.
Grumpkins and Snurks.
The Grunks and the Snurks?
No, Grumpkins and Snarks. It's
Grumpkins and Snarks.
Yes. So the image looks somewhat like what is in the background of the Mollusc 2 by Bloodhound Gang. It's this swirling, undulating, deep, crusty mollusk. And there's a lot of activity on the surface of this thing. It's not quite as large as Mantahattan, but it's another creature with creatures living upon it. And yeah, this is one of the images that is like in your brain from algae, just kind of putting it there.
Everybody say brain.
Brains.
Brain.
All right, Abishan, what do you want to do?
I don't know, what is there to ready the manta ray? Run away?
Run away!
Yeah, how do you want to handle it?
Like, is there any cost to just leaving, getting out of its path?
Well, from talking with Splitface, they're eager to see it. They want it to come.
They want to, like, eat dead bodies and shit, right?
Yes.
So maybe they're not the best place to go to this sort of decision making.
That could be true. And as to answer your other questions, how would you find out those answers? If you could just run away or what?
Can we talk to the manta ray?
Ooh. Yes, this sounds like something that's going to be like a little bit of an obstacle to do, because they can't just like let anyone talk to the manta ray, right? There's got to be some sort of cost to this. So how can you talk to the manta ray? What obstacle is standing in your way, Abishan?
The manta guard.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So Abishan wants to talk to the Managar to get access to the manta's brain, which is controlled by shunts of algae. So, you navigate your way toward the central post for the great shunting that occurs, and it's manned by several rough Tuggians. But the person in charge is a nautiloid, and they're known as Elder Swallow.
No.
Yes, and an Elder Swallow, just like its little tendrils are like filtering the ground, like peeling around itself, just like spinning around all over the place. It looks like it does more hobbying than actual guarding. Kind of aged, but not like super old for a nautiloid, because these things can live to be like thousands of years old. They just get crustier and bigger, and they just keep growing basically. But Elder Swallow, sees you guardians approaching. It's like, I'm not gonna talk to you as long as Ermax is here.
Whoa. Bad beef.
We do not know why. Why do you not want to speak to us?
I just said it. I'm gonna say it again. I'm not gonna speak to you as long as Ermax is here.
I'm gonna try to lay on my reputation a little bit and maybe nudge him in the right way.
No,
Excuse us, sir. I believe you know who we are, and by we I don't just mean the collective group. I mean the we in front of you. You know who we are and the manners that we attend to. I would ask you that you kindly step aside and think upon who you are addressing.
I know who I'm addressing, but the thing is, Ermax is a disgusting lowlife who is an aberrant and should be destroyed. So if you would kindly send them back to whatever, I don't know, pour they swam out of.
Sir, I would ask that you mind your tongue, or your mind's tongue. That you tongue your mind.
I'll tongue your mind.
I don't believe that we need to be caught up in racial conflict.
we do not mind leaving.
Yeah,
We
Ermax, how are you feeling right now?
We understand. Sometimes things we don't understand scare us. We are scared of many things and many other things. So when we see things we do not understand, we typically avoid them. We understand but not avoid. So Onak says, we are not upset. We will leave so the job may be done, and our lives may continue.
All right.
We shall simply wait over there.
Can I try to use the why can't we be friends to try to defuse this situation?
Why can't we be friends?
Exactly.
Why can't we be friends?
So you have to do. Why can't we be friends?
If I roll
How are you
plus
going?
one-
How are you going to use that? Show me what it looks like. Tell us what that looks like.
I'm going to. Okay. Well, I'll just do it in character. So we are appointed members of the Guardians. We do not come on light purposes. We have matters to attend to that are pressing. Now, we all want what is best for Mantahattan, and for that to actually proceed, we need to go inside and deal with these things. Now, I assume that you care about the safety of your community.
I just want Ermax to leave.
Then, friend, you need to see past your own prejudice.
All right.
He is no threat to you.
Give us your roll.
14.
Oh, damn.
So, the conflict de-escalates, and I get to choose two. Let's see. I'm going to get an unexpected boon, and my resolution is... No, never mind. And he's going to temporarily be on our...
Okay. So yeah, you're pouring it on real thick. Your algae is like kind of like surrounding him, and maybe like that's doing something for him. So he's being influenced by both like your words, and like your close proximity, and it's like, okay, like, listen. I can sneak Ermax in, but we have rules that those that are raised from the corruption are not to be allowed near the brain of the manta for obvious reasons. We just can't risk it. But I'll sneak Ermax in, but you and I, we're gonna have to kind of stage something, because these other rough Tuggians, they're not gonna like just let me say, oh, I command it to be so. They're gonna think something's up. So yeah, that's what's gonna have to happen.
Perhaps our friend, this rough Tuggian man, could be escorting him in for trial. For all of the command centers are made at the brain.
That could work. That could work. Uh, all right, Urlutte, what you gonna do?
I mean, in all honesty, we're here to search for answers. I'll take the road of the road of least resistance.
Well, LG has kind of talked the guard into a ruse in front of the other Reftugians. So if you'd like, you can take Ermax as pretend prisoner and get past these guards.
So wait, I, as a rough Tuggian, is the main one who's supposed to be doing.
I don't know if it's your assigned duty per se, but you are a guardian, so you've got some authority from just that.
But they don't seem to see any authority in the fact that Ermax is a guardian as well.
They're under strict orders not to let corrupted past.
All right. I mean, I feel like we'll get by if it's me holding him, looking like a prisoner, and we're just escorting a prisoner to a certain meeting or informational sit down or something that was ordered by someone above us. And maybe that'll help us sneak by. We'll just be some men in black.
Okay. So you're gonna go through with it, sounds like.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Okay. Abishan.
Yep.
You recognize one of these rough Tuggians here, one of these like assistant guards. They are responsible for the loss of one of your limbs. Can you tell us more about that experience?
Bar fight. He was cheating. He was cheating at whatever at shells. Little fucker.
Yeah.
And, we got in a fight, and he bit off my fucking tentacle.
Did it grow back?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they grow back. It'd be hell on earth if they didn't grow back. All right. What is your attitude towards them right now as you see them?
Resentment.
Okay.
You know, a great dishonor to have yourself detentacled.
All right. Then I'm gonna say you mark one on corruption. Now you can attempt to resist this. You feel like these negative thoughts as you're looking at this guy and remembering that experience. Something in the quality of the water that you're filtering just changes. So you're going to resist or just accept the corruption into your body.
Okay, I'm going to resist.
Okay. Tell us how you do that.
So, do I choose one of these moves, or is this the Hell's Heart thing? Whenever you act in accordance with your session, suffer the chosen consequence. Resist corruption.
Yeah, so anything that's like tagged with resist corruption, you can use.
Should I use hold me back? I I don't see anything marked with resist corruption.
So whatever it takes, right? It's that. So which ones did you choose? You're supposed to choose out of your playbook moves, Heart of Vengeance, and then 2 other ones. So which ones did you choose? Did you choose whatever it takes in Hell's Heart, or one of the other ones?
Oh, I didn't choose.
Oh, well, go ahead and choose now. It's fine.
Sure, I'll do whatever it takes and Hell's Heart.
Okay, fair enough. So part of the text is that you have to unleash, which is a basic move. So if we look at our basic move sheet, unleash is when you give into violence, you roll plus calm. On a 10 plus, you hit what you're trying to hit and deal damage as appropriate. So if you want to resist the corruption, you're going to have to hit that guy to express yourself kind of immediately and hope you roll well, and then it'll let you resist corruption.
Oh, then I'll just accept the corruption.
Okay.
And just seethe.
Okay. So you're
I'll
seething.
gnash my beak.
Ooh, much gnashing of beaks. Alright, so Elder Swallow, it's yeah, just take him down to, cell block 1138, because that's a thing that's not near the Manta Brain at all. It'll be fine. And then the other Roughtuggians are alright, cool, he's gonna take him down to, jail and not near the brain. We don't have to worry about this at all. That's the feeling that permeates the air, is that nothing is out of the ordinary. And, here's that guy that I chopped his arm off. I hope he's not, too bitter about it. Oh, he doesn't seem to be. That's good. Alright, as you enter whatever the hole in the back of the manta's head to go further into this animal, it's dark. Gone is the sunlight. Algae, you're oh shit, there goes the light. Hope I'm gonna be okay. Ermax, you're concerned with trying to look like a good prisoner, collection of prisoners. And Urlutte, you're doing your best Roughtuggian strongman poses. And Abyssal is seething. And you're walking past other cells, because of course you have to go through the prison to make it look good. Algae, what do you see that makes you feel sad?
You mean apart from these dregs of society?
Yeah, what specific drag?
I see a relatively new shunt being confined inside of a fully sealed area, and I know that they had gone wrong. Now, the specifics of which I do not remember, but it fills my many hearts with sadness, though we do not have hearts. To see such a young shunt go so awry.
Yeah, so you see some algae in there, right? It's red and has gray fuzzies on it, clear signs of corruption, just the ends of it going bad, and its body just a deep red, and you're oh man, we could have been like that. It's a shame that one of us, has to be like that. I wonder how the rest of the strain is doing, how the rest of the main clump is doing. But you guys, you make your way through, various other cells and things, and there's just one more obstacle to overcome before you're, within spitting or squirting distance of the brain, or the main telecommunications pathways to the manta, to ask it your questions. Urlutte, what is this obstacle?
It would definitely have to be the brain drain.
The brain drain.
So the idea here is that the manta, is actually truly a sentient being, like of a race of elders, living for who knows how long. And whoever decided this would be the place to build a city has learned how to literally dampen the abilities of the mantis brain in order to help make it more docile and agreeable and placated with the fact that we're living all over this creature. Not everybody understands that and knows that. So, in an effort to do this, they've created a way, some sort of psionic setup that literally dampens the ability of the mantis brain. And in order to get where we're going, we have to pass through the area that it literally just can't be helped. Flaw in the design, whatever. You walk through this room, and whatever is happening to the mantis brain happens to whoever passes through this room as well.
Oh, damn. Okay. Who's first through then?
The prisoner.
Oh, I like this.
Okay, Ermax. You're on the threshold of the brain drain. Your many eyes spread throughout, the sea. You see from many angles what is just like pitch, void, and your little feelers on all your little heads. They can feel, like there's shit in the air. There's little like microbes that you're like constantly feeding on and digesting. But up ahead, it's like cold and fuzzy. Not like cold and clean, right? Like it's like a greasy feeling. Yeah. What happens to you when you move through it? Get as crazy as you want.
Okay. When that happens, the shrimp start forming a literal and psionic bubble. And it's essentially made out of shrimp parts, but it becomes a bottle of a bubble of air that's just floating there, and all the shrimp slide into it and start rolling it across the room.
Okay. So the Ermax, the colony of Ermax, they swim off chasing this giant air bubble that they just farted out of nowhere, and they're passing through the brain drain. Who's next?
Well, I think I think it'd be me because I'm carrying around Ermac.
Okay. All right. So as you watch the air bubble get smaller, as it just like rolls down this weird windy hallway. That's quite fleshy on the sides because you're inside the body of a manta ray, just like its weird ear canal or scarred hole in its head that you guys have drilled through the years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's part of the brain drain. Something's gonna fuck with you when you move down there. Do you want to prepare for that at all, or are you just gonna move through?
Well, I would say that rough Tuggians, for all of us who have a past with Futurama, are kind of like Fry in the sense that we just have that other brain signal. We're kind of always a little bit slightly slower than most people in a strange way, but we also lack that higher functioning level of the brain that gets affected by the dampener the most.
Okay. So that's what you're thinking as you're moving through the brain drain. But what happens to you? You too are suddenly consumed with like this weird like crafting desire. So you begin to like your mouth parts begin to like squirm, and you begin to like secrete, your weird Roughtuggian juice, your bile, that is part of like how you do shit and how you grab stuff or whatever. So you begin to just like kind of like squirt it out of your mouth. What do you make?
What do I what?
What do you make with the juice that is coming out of your head? Because it's underwater, so it's basically, what do you 3D sculpturize? It's just like a denser liquid. Think like squand.
All right. I form a strangely maybe what do I want to say, a slightly distorted version of the manta ray itself. Maybe like 2 feet by 1 feet by 1 foot kind of size.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so you make this weird, disgusting mana that is like dripping with your weird
I don't know why.
weird residue, and you continue to follow the shrimp bubble. Who's next?
I'll go next.
All right. How do you feel after just watching that happen?
Uneasy. Though we are the people that control the mana ray, so I've heard stories of this. Maybe a way to prepare one's mind for it.
Ooh, yeah.
So I'm going to try to remove my consciousness from the algae that's passing through while only sending it limited motor signal. Just kind of pull back into the greater collective, and then after I'm through, put my consciousness back.
Okay, this sounds fantastic. It sounds like an against the current. So go ahead and roll plus calm.
+0, baby. 3.
Oh, okay. So this gets bad, right? You've like limited your bandwidth basically, and you begin to like flow through the whatever the fuck we called it, the brain drain, and it's not the most pleasant thing that happens. You're moving through here. You're trying to limit yourself, your capacities, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is like a silly plan and a silly obstacle, and you don't limit yourself, right? You just move confidently through, but you can tell that this is a bad idea. So mark corruption, and you make it through, but Abishan, you can feel there's a force that's been alerted to your guys' presence, and it knows that you are, intruders of some sort. It is coming towards you all, and it's not the, elder swallow, and it's not the Roughtuggians. The sensation that you get, feeling the vibrations is like ribbed. Something ribbed is coming towards you. And I don't mean ribbed like a whale. I mean like ribbed like a I don't know, like a corrugated sausage. What do you do?
Like ribbed for pleasure?
Yes.
I wasn't going to say it, so I'm glad someone else did.
Ribbed for everyone's pleasure.
Or displeasure.
Wait, is this everyone? What are we doing?
Yeah, you are the one that feels it because you are last in line, but it's coming towards your position.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go to it laughing. Tear down a threat with laughter in my heart.
Okay, what does this look like? I need to know.
It's the most horrific laugh ever. It's like this screeching that only a beaked octopus could possibly make. Like a wheezing screech.
Oh, wheezing screech.
How do I roll plus drive?
Roll plus hootie?
Roll plus drive is the
Sure, so your drive is a +1. So if you can see the make a move button, you can just hit that and then put in 1 for the modifier. There you go. Okay. So you succeed, right? And this was, which move did you make?
go to it laughing. On a 7 to 9, you surprise, frighten, or awe those nearby and choose one. And I will choose the current threat ignores your companion.
Okay, so earlier you chose whatever it takes and Hell's Heart. Did you want to change that to whatever it takes and go to it laughing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because you can only have like 2 of those optional moves.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. Alrighty. So on a 7 through 9, so choose one.
Current threat ignores your companions.
Oh, fantastic! All right, so your companions make it through the hall, the brain drain, and you're looking at this thing as it rounds the slippery corner, and yeah, it's just like this big dumb worm. And you're just busting out and laughing. You're like, I've eaten pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You know, like that's kind of your thought. Like it's a worm. It's really big, but it's still, just a worm just sliding around like it's gonna poop out dirt. I don't care. And it recognizes you as like even though the size difference is very stark, it's like, oh, this is one of my natural predators, and it is not scared of me at all. Like I'm gonna get torn apart by its like laughing beak. So you have stalled it here for a bit. Ye others, you can make it to the room where the shunt is controlling the manta brain in order to do what you need to do to ask a question. So how are you doing that? You move through the iris sphincters, and you see a glowing shunt of algae just like crawling down kind of cable-like through holes down, and you're like, geographically we're probably at about the place where like the manta's brain would be, but how do you want to communicate what you're trying to communicate to the algae and then to the manta? So this is a question for the Roughtuggian, the shrimp, and the algae.
What are we trying to communicate? That the Dark Carnival's coming?
Yes.
And how many cards do we have to draw?
All the Joker cards. Well, can't I communicate with the algae?
Yes.
So yeah, I'm just gonna I don't know, warn him about the coming.
All right. How does your communication look to the others? Because this is, like raw, refined. Like it's clearly different kinds of shunts, right?
Yeah.
Like very specialized algae.
So it looks like big fractal swirls and little like pseudopods that pop out. Sometimes an entire bubble will come out to one side, and they're responding in kind, though not the same. You'll see like the bioluminescence change throughout different sections of the cloud as I'm saying whatever I'm saying.
Okay. All right. And what are you saying?
I'm warning them of a coming threat of some sort of like this carnival, and I'm going to do the whole the memory thing and share that memory of
Okay.
last time.
Sure. So you get a response back, right? It's terrifying, this memory that you get back. Your body's they kind of like quiver and vibrate. Your fractals kind of like are unstable for a little bit, as the information just like shoots through each cell, and connects every brain to every brain, and the sensation is not one of like falling, but of like burning and isolation. But also, burning, isolation, sure, those are like terrible things. But, there's also just like a comforting warmth, and like a sunshine on the bottom of the ocean, kind of like, oh, that's pleasant to look at. Nice little shapes there, just like kind of calm. So that's the message that you get from the manta brain.
Wait, I'm confused. It felt okay with this news?
It's like two parts, right?
So it's concerned and not concerned.
It's hard to
I
suss
get
out,
it.
but you can try one of your other moves, so to speak, to kind of like narrow down or specify. Yeah, Urlutte? Rambo?
I just threw my phone. So.
No, don't throw your phone.
But totally like covering up a bad memory, because it's like, something terrible happened. It frightened it so much that it just decided to be like, oh, look at the pretty pictures on the ground. I'm just going to ignore this terrible thing that's happening to me. Oh my God, these pretty pictures. Oh, look at those shadows. They're so cute. Oh God, that hurt. I don't know what that was. I'm not going to pay attention to it.
Okay, do you share this insight with your fellows?
I tell them, I might not be a psychologist, but I get the feeling that these memories are connected in such a way as to speak to a cover up, maybe even an implanted memory or a chosen way to cope with a bad.
Uh-oh, you cut out with a bad...
A bad memory.
A bad memory. Yes.
Okay. Reactions, friends?
I'm gonna try to send out a message to the rest of the algae that and without any specifics, that we will need to organize the city. To organize the city for a coming struggle, perhaps something like a predator. I'm going to try to use my all together now. It says when you organize a large group towards a task, roll plus community.
Okay.
That's a 7.
Ooh. Does it specify what you do on a 7?
No, just on a hit, the task is completed with a consequence.
Ooh, okay.
One of these. So me and my allies are seen as a boon, and we each gain +1 forward when engaging with the people that are organizing.
Okay. I'm sorry, which move was this?
All together now.
All together now. Ah, okay. Okay, yeah, so whenever you are engaging with the city and doing your stuff to combat the thing, you'll get a +1. Okay. Awesome. Yes. Okay. As for the consequence, right? The the manta algae is like, oh, you're like sending out other signals, and you're making me realize like the reality of the situation that I was trying to reject. So it is like burning the sea around you with, it's just heating up in there in the brain room, and it's increasingly hostile feeling. Like you're not supposed to be in this room.
Alright, everyone, as promised.
We can hear whatever that is. It there's gray flakes floating through the air, and they're starting to like cling to bits of your strands, and you can feel yourself being corrupted by whatever mechanisms the city uses to control this goddamn mana rate. They are not probably the best, but that's like a tomorrow problem. Your today problem is you're being corrupted.
Oh, so I take 1 corruption.
Yeah, unless you can do a thing to resist.
And how? What is the? I don't have the basic moves for that shit.
So for you, it's part of your Why Can't We Be Friends has a resist corruption tag. Otherwise, yeah, none of the regular moves resist corruption.
Okay, I'm gonna try the Why Can't We Be Friends and remind them that we all come from the same core.
Okay, what does that look like? Because the gray flakes are starting to land on you. Tell me how they are like shed off or whatever, right?
Oh, I'm going to absorb their flakes and spin them into something more beautiful. A scene of the future where we're working together and we have overcome the great trial that we are about to.
Okay, fantastic.
I rolled a 9.
Ooh, nice.
So, my words are noticed by a higher power. How about the manta?
Yeah, that sounds like a great one. Okay. So the ground shakes, right? And Abishan, the worm kind of retreats, like gloops back into whatever hole it squeeged out of. And the entire, like, the air is, or I mean, not the air, the water, the currents, they drop in temperature. Ermax, your bubble dissipates, and you're clear-headed again. The rough Tuggian Urlutte, you're like, oh, you can sense that as like there's not a whole lot of like fecal matter in the air or in the water. It tastes a lot better. But the manta is definitely like shifting direction underneath you. And seems to be at least deviating from whatever course it had held, and this is maybe as much reaction as you're going to get out of this thing with how much your society has handicapped it, but things are definitely shifting in your direction. What do you do?
I mean, maybe we're shifting away from where the possible bad things are coming from.
Yeah, that's the hope. But you're down in this hole. Who knows what's happening up above in the city?
Could I do something?
Yes, of course.
I would like to split my consciousness and send part of the swarm up top to see what's going on in the city, and tell the guardians down here what's going on.
Okay. Do you have final actions that you're going to concentrate on, LG, before you cut out? Do you just want to spend the rest of your time like massaging the manta brain?
Yeah, I'll do my best to make sure the manta knows a general plan, or makes it feel good about whatever's going.
Okay. Bye.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
All right, I'm sorry, Ermax. Could you repeat yourself?
Oh.
Ermax would like to split the swarm, so some of it is keeping an eye on top of the city, while another part is still in the manta brain.
Okay. It's gonna be pretty difficult to do. It's not to say you can't do it, right? To split some of yourself, but you feel so bad about it. It's not pleasant to just like be apart from yourself. Like, yeah, you're many that are one, but you're going to take an isolated condition because of spreading yourself so thin.
Quite literally, yes.
Yeah.
Alright, then. Isolated.
All right. Abishan, what do you want to do?
Drinking celebration. This is the day.
Well, you move up to the surface into the city, and the mood is somewhat like it's you see some eels. They are tangled in a knot, and then each is trying to swim away from the other, but their tails are caught.
The Eel King.
Yes.
I will help them.
All right. How are you gonna do that?
I'm gonna untie them.
Okay. All right. So describe to me what your untying looks like.
Well, I'm using all of my limbs to deftly trying to stop them from swimming away from each other.
Okay. As you're doing that, right? Your tentacles, they are somehow not able to untangle the eels, but are instead like becoming caught in this knot. And these eels, you've touched an eel before, like who hasn't? The feeling here is that these eels. There's one of them is like kind of rough and normal eel feeling, and the other just is that dead, greasy, just like, oh, there's some tallow slicked all over this thing, and you're like caught there, pretty close to its eyes. You're close to its eyes, and its eyes are just like faded and white. So you're in contact with this gross little guy. You're gonna suffer some corruption as you are this. There's an uncorrupted eel entangled with the corrupted eel, and for some reason your tentacles are getting caught, and you cannot immediately just untangle them, and it's highly distressing.
Okay. Can I rip the corrupted one into pieces?
You sure can. This sounds like an unleash. Yeah. So you're just gonna tear it apart, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So roll plus calm.
I have a +2 calm.
Nice. Ooh. All right. Yeah. So unfortunately, you're still stuck in there, and your limbs are beginning to gray. Marker corruption. you just can't like pull your arms out or your legs in order to start tearing them apart, or with your beak, you bite into a sour bit of the corrupted eel, and you accidentally eat it. It's not good. You're having a bad time. Yeah. Urlutte the Bwahh, what are you doing?
Definitely noticing what is happening to my fellow guardian here.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to go ahead and decide that it looks like he's getting sucked into something that could harm him more than any one of us could save the eel. And I'm willing to step up and try to use brute strength to unentangle, even if it means killing the eel.
Okay. Yeah. Do it up.
I believe I'm at a -1 from the last set of actions.
Mm-hmm.
So I just type in -1.
Yes. Yeah, it should work.
At a 5.
Mm-hmm. That worked. Okay. So that is no good. You're in there as well. What the infected eel, the corrupted eel, it makes a call, and another one like writhes out of the murk, and starts harassing you and nibbling at your little beetle knees, which normally made of hard exoskeleton are just like flaking off, as this eel's attempting to eat you. Ermax, what are you gonna do? You've separated yourself. You can see, generally in the city, people are running in like two directions. Everybody's kind of like facing off one against the other. It looks like people have like weird doppelgangers going on. What do you want to do?
Both Ermax and me are so confused right now.
Okay. So what you see, you've swum out of the hole from the eel. I mean, from the manta, right? You've swum past the guards. Just past the guards, there are some eels knotted together, pulling in opposite directions. Abyssal went in to like fix the situation. Tentacles getting stuck. Urlutte went in to, further assist, and an eel swam out of the murk and has started to eat him. Eat Schmooze. Shmem. And that's what you see. Other than those two friends of yours, it looks like people in other parts of the city are having similar confrontations, either with people they know, or other denizens of the city who, just until recently were acting normal, but for some
everybody's freaking out.
Are not anymore. Yes.
I would like to use psionics to calm both the eels.
Okay.
And just make them settle down so they can be untied.
All right. Tell me what that looks like.
It involves two of the many scrimps sacrificing themselves by diving into their mouths and being devoured by the eel.
Oh no, it's so sad.
It's life.
It really is. Damn. Okay. Is this a specific move?
I guess.
I mean, it sounds like either defend another or sing the body electric.
I was thinking sing the body electric.
Okay, that's what I thought too. Okay, go for it.
Alright. Okay.
Nice.
I did really well.
All right. So you blow the eel's minds. The corrupted one just kind of sags and dies completely. it goes slack, and then the other eel is able to pull itself free, and Abyshan is able to like get its tentacles out of the knot, but there's still the other one like flapping around trying to eat Urlutte's knees. Abyshan, what do you do?
Is it just like a straight up?
The straight up one is unleash.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll just attack it.
Okay.
So it's always going to be a calm? A roll plus calm, or what?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, for unleashing. Yeah, there's only whatever, like 5 abilities anyhow.
I rolled a 9.
Hooray! You rolled a 9. All right.
Yay.
So choose 2 from the list. They retaliate, you lose ground, or you lose control.
I lose control.
Okay. So you you take this eel that's biting the many knees of Urlutte. You tear it apart, and then there are also you tear, you were meaning to just like tear the eel, right? But you accidentally, just overextend your arms. Like you only needed 1 to grab the eel, but you send out like 4, and you also tear apart part of Urlutte. Like that leg is gone. Like it'll grow back, but immediately it is gone. Urlutte, how do you feel?
I am in pain and sad. I would have thought that with the bad one basically being dead that was tangling me up, that maybe, I could handle this situation better. But he was a little bit faster than I and a little bit crazy.
Yeah, this is the thing that happens with, good old Abyshan, I think. He maybe sometimes tears people's limbs off.
Well, I know that I'm gonna get it back, so it's okay. I'm not happy, but it's okay because I'm gonna get my arm back.
I'll try to put it back.
No, it's done with. I'm not gonna reconnect that.
I mean, it's not to say it's not a possibility. How are you gonna reconnect his limb?
I mean, I
plug it
just
back in
with corruption at this point.
You're just gonna plug his leg back in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that.
It sounds like he is not accepting your help.
Well,
Yeah.
that's just ungrateful.
All right. So the immediate confrontation is kind of calmed, and the manta is turning, but you see like squiggling. Okay, so you look towards the sunward, and you see this twisting mollusc, and it is way in the distance, but like kind of raining or like floating down from it are lots of little pink, maybe they're slugs, and they're just like kind of like wispily snowing down. And it looks like some of them are like falling far short of the Mantahattan, but you're on a big fucking manta, so some of them are inevitably climbing up from the tail. What do you want to do? The tail's a bit a ways. It's where a congregation of the Roughtuggians farm the manta, excrement to fuel the city. What is your reaction to this sight of pink rain in the distance?
I mean, it's definitely a phenomenon that needs to be checked out. something weird is going on.
Yes, we should investigate it to make sure.
All right. You quickly swim over there, passing many conflicts. Abishan, what is one conflict that you pass by that just fucking breaks your heart that you have to like say, sorry, I don't have time for this right now?
The two worms. My two buddies.
Oh,
Eaten or something.
who is eating the tube worms?
Some corrupted beetles?
Okay, fair enough. Corrupted beetles eating the tube worms. Yeah, good old split face is crying out. Yeah.
I would never do that. I don't know what's wrong with those beetles. My beetles peoples do not eat the worm.
Well, your beetles peoples are eating the split-faced skins.
That's why there's got to be something wrong with them, man. They better be corrupted or something, because that's fucking...
Are you gonna stay to find out or press on?
I think we need to press on to the more urgent matter. We can't stop these things from eating what falls on it.
Okay. All right. The manta is quivering ever more violently, but you move towards the tail, and oh heck, let's stop it there, right? I think that's a good enough place to break, because we could go many directions from here. As you move towards the tail, you see these looks like a fleet or a slew, a colony of slugs just kind of snowing down and beginning to like wiggle their way up the tail. As you're right at the part of the manta where like the tail jumps out of the butt or whatever. But
Sure.
you look out and you see the abysmal carnival like far in the distance, but it's like continuing to rain down these like pink little slug guys, just like all over the ground, like it's just shedding them like crazy. You don't know what that's about, but you see that it's some of them are landing where you live, but others are being spread all over the goddamn ocean floor. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I guess we'll have to wait until next time to find out. But questions, comments, concerns, suggestions? How'd you guys like this system?
I like it, honestly. It allows for a lot of open-ended experience. Should we all be like adding into the mythos as we go, or is there things that just are as they are? We just might not know it.
Oh, we all make the mythos together.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of hesitant to like add anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll try to remember that next game.
No worries. Devin?
It was fun.
All right. Yeah, and this is a playtest, guys. So do you have any playtest feedback for the designers? Systems wise, or like handout wise, things that could have been made more clear, or advice to give players or anything?
I mean, I almost feel like if I did print out the handout, that it wouldn't be any easier than how I'm kind of like work with what I have on my like open text in my Word. Like I took apart the profile for the traveler for what I needed. Picking out my specifics for my choices. And then I have a whole other page where I'm just going to keep track of like numbers and stats and facts that I need to know as I go along. If they're like permanently needed enough, I'll add them to my main sheet. But otherwise, it's like having my main character sheet and then a kind of like a bullshitting sheet.
Yeah.
I feel like the handout that they have wouldn't really cover all the ground that I need to cover.
Gotcha.
So I feel like it's better to do the way that I'm doing.
Like these are the Raftugians and etc. Is that like the kind of stuff you're taking notes of?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
More like pointing, taking care of my character's facts and how it affects the storyline
Got it.
on top of what information they give us.
Okay. Sebastian, any feedback for the designers?
Not right now. Not yet.
Okay. Devin?
Not really.
Okay.
I don't think I'm familiar enough with the system to be giving feedback.
Yeah.
Well, anything that could be done to make you guys more familiar with the system, like aside from just like playing more?
Probably playing more.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so far it does seem really open-ended. Like, I do like the idea of everyone being able to build everything at any time, but sometimes it's like, if something bad is about to happen, sometimes I just want the game to tell me instead of us figuring out what it is by explaining it ourselves.
Okay.
I want to be told that this is going to be the hellfire raining down on you. It can be fun both ways, I guess, but sometimes it's like to put us in danger, to make us feel like we're really in trouble, we have to have the power of control taken out of our hands.
Okay. Yeah, I got that. Cool. Well, if that's it, I will stop the recording.
Recording.
Yeah.